Hi, this is Steve. Welcome back to my channel, Scale Model Kit Review Studio, and welcome back to another installment of the DeAgostini Collectibles Build the Ford GT. I am working on Pack 21, stages 98 to 102. We're really getting close to the finish line with this car, and it is fantastic. I've enjoyed this immensely. It's probably one of the easiest builds out there for a part work kit, and I do highly recommend this one for you. Now, like I was saying, if you haven't done so already, head over to DeAgostini Collectibles and see if this car is available. If it's available, subscribe to it. If it isn't, send DeAgostini Collectibles a note and ask them, hey, when are you going to bring this back out for us to build and enjoy so much? But I have enjoyed this immensely, and we're almost done. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review Studio, and welcome back to another DeAgostini Build the Ford GT. This time I'll be working on pack number 21, where I received stages 98, 99, 100, 101, and 102. We do a lot here in this part of the build, but it all goes together very well and very easily. And as you know, DeAgostini has been around a long time, and let's go ahead and look at some information about DeAgostini here first. DeAgostini is your discovery partner into a world of hobbies and interest. They create innovative collectible and build-up model series with engaging narratives on the most fascinating subjects. Explore an exclusive universe of collectibles from classic cars and motorsports to movies and video games. Scale models. Enjoy the experience of building step-by-step our exclusive scale model curated by our experts and designed with an exceptional standard and accuracy of high level of details. DeAgostini's collectibles and scale models come with a magazine packed with extensive articles, behind-the-scenes material, little-known information, and rare images that will make you a master of the universe you love. DeAgostini as a brand choice. Their expertise goes back decades, and they've earned people's trust around the world. Please pause the video. Only a small percentage of you subscribe to my channel. Subscribing to my channel really helps me out. And while you're at it, smash that like button. Now let's get on with the show. Let's go ahead and look at what the magazine comprises of. When you subscribe to this build, you'll get a magazine with each and every kit part that you receive. And this time, like I said, I received 5 stages, so I received 5 magazines. And magazines are great, 12 to 13 pages. And they're also available online through DeAgostini's site to download digitally. So you can go ahead and build using any of your electronic device, like an iPad or your cell phone, to build this kit if you don't want to use the magazine itself. But the magazine is full of wonderful articles, mainly about Ford subjects and racing, dealing with the Ford aspect of racing. So this is great here, just to show you. A lot of research and a lot of stuff was done here with this, so very pleasing. So then the instructions are very clear in color. They give you details step by step. They give you a listing of all the parts you received in that particular part of the build, and tips and all that are contained within this on how to do things. So that looks great there. Let's go ahead and look at the parts that came with this pack 21. Stage 98. This is the lower portion of the car there. You can see it's the lower side portion. Stage 99, the other side. Getting all our body panels, aren't we? Stage 100, the back part of the car, nicely protected there. And we'll look at these a little bit later. We'll take them out and get a good look. 101, which is the rear vent of the car here. And 102, once again, more parts for that rear venting area of the car. Let's go ahead and get started on stage 98. Let's look at the build instructions for stage 98. 98, we're going to go ahead and attach the doors. And this is our left rocker panel that we received. And like I said, very common that we'll receive parts in this stage, but we build them later. We'll bring over the central section of the body and we'll put on the hood reinforcement panels. Then we'll go ahead and attach the doors to the central section of the body. That's been a long time coming. Both doors. Let me get the parts. I'll be right back. Here's the parts for 98. Very well protected there in that blister pack. Let's get a closer look. This is the left rocker panel, and of course it's made of metal. Very nice there. I love that baby blue color. We have a front deflector panel, and it's clear plastic. That's really cool there. And FD01 screws. Here's our central section of the body. Looks great. We're going to install the hood support reinforcements right here. We have a left side, and it's marked with an L, and a right side. And they're simply just going to go down on each side. And they'll be held in place with FP01 screws from the back side. And the last one. That's good there. And that's how that looks. Let's go ahead and bring over the doors and we'll install the doors next. Here's the door for the right side and the door for the left side. Alright, our door is going to go ahead and mount into these mounting points here on the side. I'll bring over the door and you can see it's sitting flat. So I'm going to mount it with the door closed. And it's going to slide under. There we go. Just like that. And you can see how that looks there. And sitting right there. Turn it over. And we have two seals that have to go on this. And the seal will go up against that, like that. And we'll put our screw into it. Just like that. And there you go. Both are tightened down. That's how that looks there. That's how that looks there. Open the door. Open and close. And that's how it works. It's great. Do the other side. Bring over the door. We're going to slide it in place and then go under the top there and making sure our hinge point is facing down and it's engaged. Put the plastic spacers in here, then I'll put the FD01 screws into that. That's good there. It's nice and tight. And this opens up just fine. just like the other, and closes just fine. Looks great. So that's all we do with stage 98. Let's head over and do stage 99. Let's look at the build instructions for stage 99. Attaching the central body to the chassis. Very cool there. So we receive the right rocker panel, hood fasteners, and some more screws. First I'll attach the mirror. Bring over the chassis. We'll put the body on top of the chassis, making sure it's down all the way like it should be. Put our 4 screws in the bottom of it to secure it. Let me get the parts and I will be right back. Here's parts for stage 99. Let's get a closer look. Here's the right rocker panel. Very nice. 2 little chrome plastic hood fasteners and FD01 screws. We'll put our rear view mirror in the top of the central body panel, and that's this right here. Note, you'll see there is a flat on there, so when it goes on one way. That press fits down on there, just like that. And that looks better there. Looks great. Now we'll go ahead and mount this center panel to the chassis. Okay. Bring over the chassis here. And as you can see, I did bring over the chassis, and I do have the rear wheel and tires left off because they are very heavy and it adds a lot of weight to this. Just going to make it easier to install some of this stuff as we go along, but I will put them on and show you what I do with that, because I do a little mod with that. But there it is. So in order to do this correctly, they do suggest that when you put the body down on top of it, that you open your doors first. Okay, so I'll open the doors and put this down on top of the chassis. Okay, so it's down now, and it was a little bit fiddly doing that, but not too bad. So I did tighten down the front screw right here, and there's a screw in the back. Make sure that the back end of the body goes around your firewall, your rear firewall. It's on the outside of that firewall. Okay, so just making sure your firewall is tucked in behind the body panel right there on both sides. And I'll put in the next screw. I did put some oil on it, and it should tighten it down. That's good there. And the last one right here. And there you go. The central section of the body is married to the chassis. All 4 screws are in and nice and tight. A little bit fiddly to do it, but not too bad. I'm sure it would be easier for you. It's always harder when you're trying to film it on video, and it seems like you know, things just don't work out. But it did in this case for me. It just took a little more time. So that looks great. So that completes stage 99. Let's head over and do stage 100. Okay, moving along. Let's look at stage 100 instructions. The rear hood here this time. That's what it looks like. Looks great. Retrieve the car nose and we'll assemble and insert the pins on the deflector. That's that clear deflector we received last stage. Then we'll go ahead and start to install the rocker panel on the left side there. And looks like we got a few screws that go into that, like 4 of them there. 4 FD01 screws go into that. That's what it should look like. Let me get the part and I will be right back. Here's stage 100 part. Looks great. Let's get a closer look. And here's the part. Very nice. Great finish on it. Once again there, the underside. Let's get a close-up of the graphics. There's that. That right there. That looks great. Stripes look really good. Again, graphics on that side. And the number. And you can see that that's also applied right there. Bring over the nose of the car, and we're going to put the rain deflector right in here, and that's this part right here we received previous stage, and it just press fits in. Just like that. And that's what that looks like there. And there it is. Looks good right there. Now we'll go ahead and put the rocker on the side of the car. Okay, so bring over the car, we'll put it on its side here, and we'll bring over the rocker panel, the left side rocker panel, and you can see it has some notches here that need to insert front and back onto the side of the car, just like that. And then it needs to insert underneath the chassis. Those holes right there need to insert under the chassis. Now, it's a very tight fit. So in order to do that, you're going to have to loosen a screw up that mounts the chassis down. And that's this screw right here that holds that in. And I loosened that one up. Ideally, you'd want to loosen this one too, but you can't get to it. Okay? So that one's going to have to remain tight. But hopefully loosening it up on this end here will be enough to give us the movement that we need. Okay. And we can press it in all the way down. There we go. Okay. Wow. Okay, so it's in fully right here and in fully right there, and my holes should be lined up on the bottom now, which they are. So 4 FD01 screws go into that. And the last one. Perfect. And don't forget, we need to tighten that screw that we loosened up on top here. And that completes stage 100. Looks great. Let's head over and get started on stage 101. Let's look at the build instructions for stage 101. This time we're going to attach the right rocker panel, and we're going to do it much the same way as the other side, but the parts we received with this are the rear grille, side trunk lock latches, tail lamp, rear side reflector, and some screws. We're going to grab the car, bring it over. We want to insert it much the same way. I did have to use a screwdriver to help it along a little bit. I was very careful I didn't scratch anything. I did loosen that screw that I showed you earlier, and I'll show you on this side. We'll put in our 4 FD01 screws on the bottom. That's what it will look like. Let me get the parts. I'll be right back. Here's the parts for stage 101. Let's get a closer look. Here's the grille cover, and it is made of plastic. We have our reflector, we have a light, a couple latch mechanisms, FD09 and FP05. Okay, bring over our car. Now, in order to get some room in here to get everything inserted, we need to loosen the screw for this bracket right here. Now, to get to it, you'll have to take the battery cover off. Okay. And you'll have to remove your batteries to loosen that screw right there. And just as before, bring over the rocker panel, and it's going to get inserted on the top first, and then on the bottom. And there you go. Everything is lined up there. I'll put my 4 screws in, and I'll be right back. All 4 screws are in, and they're nice and tight. I'm going to go ahead and put my screw back in on top here where the battery compartment is. Cover back on, and we're good to go. And that completes stage 101. We've got the right side rocker panel installed, and it looks great. Looks fantastic. Let's head over and do the final stage for pack 21, and that would be stage 102. Let's look at the final stage for this video, stage 102 for pack 21. Attaching the hood, and we received the parts for the trunk lock latches and rear grille mounting panel. So bring over our hood and our cover for the hood too, and we're going to attach the front of the hood here. We're going to feed our wires for the lights, and I'm going to route them a little bit differently than what they show in the picture. Mine are actually going to go from underneath, which I think makes a little more sense, and they're hidden away. But you can see the wires for the LEDs in the picture here, showing them coming over the top of the wheels and tires. And mine are going to be hidden underneath a little more, so they're going to come under and be fed through the suspension, so there shouldn't be any issues there at all, and it should make them hidden just a little bit. They tell us when the hood is down, make sure that your fuel cap is aligned with the hole properly. And then we take our panel and we put that down and we secure it down with these hood latch mechanisms. They are fairly loose and they can be lost very easily, so I'm going to leave them off. I'm not going to install them just yet. That would be like the last step of this build, or to put these latches in. Same with these two on the top. They want us to put these new ones we received in the previous stage on top. And I'm going to leave those off for now. I don't want to lose them, so they're going to be put away for safekeeping. So let me get the parts and I will be right back. Here's parts for stage 102. Let's get a closer look. This is the rear grille mounting panel, and it's made of plastic, along with two trunk lock latches, and they're plastic also. Before I begin this stage and I mount the hood onto the front of the car, we have to worry about the wiring for your LED headlights. Now the wiring, I showed you how to do what I did here in a separate video that I created, and you can see this is a video here, routing headlight wires. I'll put a link in the description below, but I remember I showed you how to do that in that video. It actually was attached to the other video, and if you go to this, you won't have any problems. So the key here is I want to route this wiring for the LED lights underneath these A-frames. Okay, so I brought over the car and the nose, and I have the nose situated just like they tell you in the instructions with your wiring. They show the wiring going over the top of the A-frames here, or the wishbones. Mine are going to go underneath, and you can kind of see that I already have it going underneath. So in order to do this correctly and to feed the wiring through like I want to, I need to put the hood down all the way. So when you do that, just make sure, if you haven't have them plugged in already, which I have mine plugged in because I did this ahead of time, go ahead and put your hood down all the way. Okay, make sure it lines up with everything, with your refuel port and everything, and it's laid down like it should be. Now I'll go ahead and turn this over. Okay, so I'll show you what I did here with my wiring for the LED headlights. So it's right here, you can see it's running underneath. Let me give you a closer view. Okay, so the wiring coming off the car chassis to the front is right here, the 07, and then the 07 wire from your headlights. I already plugged them in. I have them running, like I said, underneath the lower wishbone, so it's out of the way. Okay, you don't even see it. Same with the other side. Okay, and so my LEDs are all set and ready to go. You can see that. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck that in. They're going to be out of the way, and I'll turn this back over. Okay, headlights do work. I verified that earlier, and we'll show you that a little bit later, not in this video, but you can see the front nose is on the way it should be. Next, they want me to put the cover for the spare tire housing, and that slides on just like this. And that looks great. And they want you to lock in your little latches. I'm leaving the latches off until last. I don't want to lose them, nor do I want to break them. Some fit tight, some fit loose, so I'm just leaving them off for now, but that's what that looks like. Next, they also want to put the two other latches that hold the hood down, and they go up here. I'm leaving those off once again because I don't want to lose them, or nor do I want to break them. So those are going to get installed the very last stage, before I show you the grand, the grand unveiling of this car when it's complete. But that's all we do with this stage and with this pack. I really enjoyed this build so far. So I will be right back. And there you have it. That completes pack 21 for the Ford GT. I enjoyed this thoroughly. This is a fantastic car, and I can't wait to do the next pack. Pack 22, which I do have on hand, so stay tuned for that. I will be publishing that here in a couple of weeks. But this is fantastic. Did a lot here. We put the doors on, we got the front hood on, We know that the front headlights work. I hooked those up, and I'll show you those a little bit later. But this is a fantastic looking car. I left the rear wheels and tires off. They are very heavy and large, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to mod those a little bit. It's no big deal, but when I do, I'll show you that in my video. And make sure you head over to the link down below where I gave you tips on running your LED wires for the headlights and for the tail lights. So that's a big clue there to let you know you want your wiring kind of hidden out of the way with these cars and not being just exposed in the wheel well. So I think it looks great this way. So if you think you'd like to get this for yourself, head over to DeAgostini Collectibles to see if it's available. If it's available, please sign up for it today. If it's not, just send them an email, send them a message asking them when they're going to reissue this kit, because it's a fantastic kit and you really don't want to miss it when it is available. It's very stunning, I think. What do you think? So if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel and smash that like button. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.